Miss Segrest says that Mr. Clayton is a big fat liar who won't admit that he's being unfaithful. Is she right? Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding.
Hello, everyone. You may be seated.
Your Honor, the case of Segrest v. Clayton.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Divorce Court, Ms. Segrest and Mr. Clayton, and I'm glad to have everyone here joining us today. I'd like to welcome everyone to Divorce Court. We are looking at another case where there's an allegation of cheating and lying, and we're about to get to the bottom of it, and I'm hoping that this relationship can be saved, but that's up to the two people in front of me. Why don't we start? Ms. Segrest, why are we in court today?
Your Honor, I'm here today because Lavell has an obsession with bigger women, and also I just know for a fact that he's been cheating on me.
Wow.
And if I find out, I don't want to be with him anymore.
So this is some truth-telling for you. Is that what you're looking for, Ms. Segrest?
Most definitely.
Mr. Clayton, you heard what Ms. Segrest says. She doesn't trust you. What's going on?
I'm just here to prove my innocence and let her know that she's more so she's in her head than anything being a fact.
In my head.
Okay, so let's see if things are in your head and not in fact. Ms. Segrest, why don't you tell me a little bit about how you all met and how you ended up coming to divorce court today?
So I met Lavell at a performance. We both are entertainers.
Right.
And after performance, you know, I gave him my number, he gave me his number, and then maybe a few days later after that, he came to my house. I liked him a lot because he didn't just try to have sex with me on the first night. He actually kind of turned me down, and I'm not really used to that. Like, I'm used to guys being hound dogs, but he was just very respectful with me. You know, he kind of showed me, a little bit more.
So so when you say he turned you down, so you put it out there that you were interested?
Oh, yeah, I tried to put it on him.
Aggressive.
And Mr. Clayton, you were hesitant.
No, I wasn't hesitant. It's not just about sex to me.
Excellent. What makes you start to wonder about whether or not you can trust him?
So I feel like I can't trust him because, okay, the first time there was an incident where he told me that he was at the studio.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, after the studio, baby, I'm gonna hit you up. I also submitted evidence to the court as well. I told him, okay, hit me up when you're done. Instead of him hitting me up when he was done, I didn't get no call back. I'm sending text messages.
Let me see the evidence that you submitted, because I want to put it in perspective. So this was it. Why are you ignoring me? You okay? You good? I have to imagine this is not
that's
10 minutes.
That's the PG-13 rated version.
But so you're telling me that my court staff actually...
they had to, because I was cussing him out.
Right, like, yo, where are you?
Where the are you?
Yes.
Like that.
She's talking to herself, as you can see.
Yeah, because you weren't responding, as you could see.
That's like in 10 seconds, all three of them questions, but they make it seem like it was over hours. Like, I hit you up this time, hit you up this time. No, you're talking to yourself.
Your Honor, it was over hours.
We do the same thing. She does music, I do music. And when you're in the studio, it doesn't happen perfectly, anything. So, hey, I'm recording. It slipped my mind. I'm focusing on my craft right now.
So you slipped your mind to come and be with me.
I'm focusing on my craft like when I let you focus on your craft and tend to your business and don't accuse you of nothing.
The craft was over.
How can you say when it's over?
Excuse me. I completely understand you getting in the zone and working. I completely understand you having an expectation when someone says that they're going to connect with you, that they actually connect with you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here's my question. Why can't you, Mr. Clayton, send her back a text that says, I'm busy right now, I'll hit you back as soon as I can? Why can't you just send a simple text like that?
Sometimes things are not simple. If you're in the middle of doing something, a simple text is not. If you're on an interview or anything important, I'm recording music. I can't stop, get out the zone, go send a text just because she wants that.
Okay, I completely agree. Over the course of 5 minutes, over the course of 20 minutes, over the course of 1 hour. How many hours are we talking about, Ms. Segrest, that this go on?
He told me at 10:30 he would be done at the studio. I hit him up at 10:45, and then I kept calling, no response. The next day, the afternoon, was when I was able to see him physically and get a response.
So you're telling me from 10:30 p.m.
to 12:43 the next day. Yes, afternoon.
The next afternoon?
Yes.
So, oh, my juror just said that's too long. Excuse me. One moment. Now it's Mr. Clayton's turn.
Thank you.
Mr. Clayton, are you trying to, and you know what? Your jacket's fine. You don't need to adjust it every time I ask you a question. Okay?
Nice jacket.
That may be the way it works in your house, but it don't work in my house like this. I'm in charge. I'm the one with the B.E., okay? Thank you. Let's bring it on back. What happened between 10:30 at night and 12:43 in the afternoon? Because there's not that much studio time that you can't take a moment to communicate with your significant other. You're the one that asked her to be your wife.
The day I learn to text and sleep, I will do it. I can't text and sleep. I'm doing music.
So here's my question. When you finished your artistry, you had to walk down the hallway from the studio, get in either an elevator or walk out of a door or down some steps, walk to a car, pick your keys out of your pocket or your briefcase, put the keys in the car or start it electronically, and you had to drive. In between any of that time, you try to tell me, this court, that you couldn't take 30 seconds out of that important time to communicate with your significant other. You are sorry that you blew her off. You didn't have any time whatsoever.
Like I said,
on my soul, eat them up, on my soul.
Like I said, the process after, it's a process after. I have to listen to the music inside. Anybody that does music know the studio is not the only place to listen to music. When I get in the car, I listen to music on the way home.
I can tell you right now, Mr. Clayton.
You're deflecting.
I know more artists than you will ever know. And I cannot tell you one of them that listens to music or in the zone 24/7. Not one of them. Especially the successful ones, because the one thing they have in common is they are not rude. They understand professionalism. That's what makes them successful. Let's move on to the next story, because that one you're never going to win with me. That was rude, it was inconsiderate, and if you don't want to cop to it, that's your prize.
That's your prize.
Somebody on your side.
My friend was at the club and she called me. She didn't just give me a regular call, she FaceTimed me. She like, hey, Liddy, look. And I look over and it's him with a bunch of big girls in the section with all of his friends, and they just, One time he came over to the house, we were in the house or whatever, and we ended up having sex. It was nice, it was wonderful, and then I wake up and he's gone. Hours go by, he hasn't hit me, he hasn't texted me or nothing. I'm like, okay, it's weird, maybe it's music again. So then I get on Instagram and I see him posting somebody's party or whatever, and I asked him about it. He like, oh, I didn't hit you because I had to work on this party, and da-da-da. So I investigate, and it was some Instagram model. Like, you don't even know her.
Instagram.
But he says it's somebody else, but it looked like an Instagram model to me.
No, it was my sister. It was my sister's party, which I was promoting. And you was wondering why I was promoting her, because you didn't know that was my sister at that time. So you jumped to a conclusion, and you was wrong, and you felt salty about it, so you stayed on your lie, like typical females do.
So, Mr. Clayton, has that been your experience with typical females?
Most definitely.
That they presume or assume?
No, when females are caught in their lie, since they don't want to feel bad and blame themselves and take accountability, they stand on that.
Accountability for what? Us having sex and you leaving? Or me not talking to you for 3 days?
I had that. Why, when I got to handle business, it's not understandable, but when you got to handle business,
it's perfectly understandable. A 72-hour hold business.
Business.
So here's my question. Why are you in this relationship, ma'am?
Because it's not always like that. It's not always like that. I feel like maybe there was like a turmoil in events of why, or maybe it's me. Like, speaking of Instagram, one time he had made a post, and the post was a bigger woman, like, and she was doing the dang thing, okay? Doing the dang thing. And I asked him, I'm like, can you take that down? What's going on with that? And then he's like, oh, it's not a big deal, it's just promo, just promo. I'm like, well, I don't like that.
But didn't you know that Mr. Clayton was in the industry and was going to be promoting events and promoting parties and...
That's fine, because I do it too, Your Honor, but I do it with respect.
Mr. Clayton, why is there such a mistrust? Because Ms. Segrest says she thinks that something occurred or there was some turmoil going on.
There's a mistrust, Your Honor.
Maybe she's doing something.
No.
To where she's trying to push it off on me.
Don't try to pin this on me. Anyways, one time, my friend was at the club and she called me. And she didn't just give me a regular call, she FaceTimed me. And so she FaceTimed me, she like, hey, Liddy, look. And I look over, and it's him with a bunch of big girls in a section with all of his friends, and they just, like just, everywhere. So I'm like, what? Like, what is this? So then I hang up the phone with her. I immediately start calling his phone. He's not answering. So I'm like, okay, all right. So you chase them out the club.
So you call my phone while I'm in the club?
Anyways.
I'm in the club, you call my phone.
Yes,
and you wonder why I did.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So then after I called his phone or whatever, he didn't answer, per usual. She tells me that them and all the big girls, they left. Like, they left. And I didn't hear from him none of that time.
Did you talk to Mr. Clayton about that incident?
He denies it. He don't like my friend. He denies it. He feel like she lying, but I keep telling him I saw you there in the club with the big girls. Boom, 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 boom. I ain't had sex in 4 months. I'm over here hot and bothered. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know anything.
Out of 4 months, how many days out of 4 months we've been around each other?
You tell me, you know everything.
Not for nothing, but I know you were together last night.
Yeah, and we didn't have no sex.
Mr. Clayton, have you given her any reason to believe that you are an unfaithful man?
Anything that she does not agree with is a reason to believe that.
I'm talking about your behavior.
My behavior, no, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm him. I'm good. And she knows it.
Ms. Segrest, he says you know it, but you know what? This is a one time that we can figure it out together because
I don't know nothing. I ain't had sex in 4 months. I'm over here hot and bothered. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know anything.
Out of 4 months, how many days out of 4 months we've been around each other?
You tell me, you know everything.
27.
Oh, okay.
So, not for nothing, but I know you were together last night.
Yeah, and we didn't have no sex.
This is the time that I ask the polygraph examiner to join me because
I just want the truth.
We're going to put this to rest once and for all.
Most definitely.
And trust me, your jacket is fine. You don't need to adjust it.
Oh, my soul, stop fixing that jacket.
Would you please ask Mr. Yarborough to join us? Thank you. I think it's a nervous habit.
I think it's a lying habit.
I just like the jacket.
Mr. Yarborough, I'm glad to have you here. Please give the court a little bit about your background so that we know that you are qualified to be an expert in this regard.
Absolutely. I'm a certified polygraph examiner. I'm a member of the American Polygraph Association. I've done hundreds of polygraphs for law enforcement and other public safety agencies. I've done also polygraphs for professional and private party polygraphs.
Mr. Yarborough, you asked 3 questions of Mr. Clayton, who willingly submitted to a polygraph examination.
Willingly.
That is correct.
The first question we asked Mr. Clayton was on the night of the party that Liddy did not attend, did you leave the club with any large-sized women? What was Mr. Clayton's answer?
Mr. Clayton answered no.
And what did the results indicate?
The results of the polygraph revealed no deception indicated to that question.
Oh, no, you ain't got to clap yet. Don't clap yet.
We're going to be adjusting that jacket a couple more times, okay? Question number 2. Mr. Yarborough, we asked Mr. Clayton, while you were away at your sister's birthday celebration, did you have sexual contact with anyone outside of Liddy? What was Mr. Clayton's answer?
Mr. Clayton answered no to that question.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph results indicated no deception indicated to that question.
Go ahead.
No, I was just telling her she can hold her clap. You can clap.
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the adjustment, okay?
I'm good. I'm good.
Question number 3.
Back rub, feet rubbed, everything.
Mr. Yarborough, we asked Mr. Clayton, when Liddy called wanting to see you after being out of town, were you with another woman Liddy was not aware of? What was Mr. Clayton's answer?
Mr. Clayton answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination revealed there was no deception to that question.
I'm going shopping. I'm going shopping.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Okay.
Yarborough. I
Thank you.
appreciate
I
your
like my
clarity.
feet done and all that too. I like, you feel me? I like back rubs.
So, Ms.
and
Segrest,
meals cooked and all that.
Mr. Clayton was 100% truthful and honest.
100.
You may not like the way he responds and his timeliness, but the one thing we know is he didn't lie about those questions that you specifically wanted those answers to.
Yes, I did.
I think you owe him an apology.
Fix that attitude like I fixed my suit jacket.
I apologize for accusing you, but we still ain't had sex.
I can't hear you.
I said I apologize for accusing you, but we still haven't had sex.
I
So
heard
you
the
must be
first part.
cheating
Thank
with
you.
your hand or something.
I'm going to ask about the second part. I'm not going to accuse you of cheating, but I am going to accuse you of not being as into your fiancé as she is into you. She has made you a priority for her. And I learned a long time ago that when a man wants you, he will let you know. You don't have to beg him to return your text messages or your phone calls, or you don't have to track him down, and you don't need his location, and you don't need to slide into his social media, because he's already right there. He's letting you know, and he's reassuring you all the time. Mr. Clayton, be honest. Why have you not been there in the way that Miss Segrest expected? And this is the time to tell the truth, sir, because you told the truth there. I'd like that same courtesy now.
Thing is, Your Honor, just because you don't eat your favorite food every day don't mean it's not your favorite food. We don't be around each other. The intimacy that's built up gets covered up by frustration of not being around. If we gonna be married, if we gonna be together, we need to be around each other. She's so busy to where she can't tend to a wifely duty. You feel me? It gets to the point to where even when she's around, it's like, okay, now I feel like it's a duty.
Mr. Clayton says he feels that you all are not connected enough. Would you agree with him?
I guess I can agree. I try, you know? Like I try my hardest. And it's not that I'm just too busy, because he's busy as well, but I'm not trying to play the blame game like it's his fault, it's my fault. Like, I'm out here trying to live my life and take care of everything that I gotta take care of.
So then that means you both have to make each other a priority if you are a priority. Or if this is not the time in your life that you can do that, admit it to each other. You'll find that time, if it's important to you. Now, I keep hearing the two of you talk about how much you're in love with each other and you want to make this work. But I don't see you both working hard towards making it work. Look at your calendars and say, I'm going to be here Wednesday and Thursday. Those are our days. And reserve that time for each other. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
It makes sense.
I know that you're going to be together tonight. Why don't you talk for the first time in a long time, not at each other, but to each other? Why don't you take your fiancé out for dinner and listen to her? And why don't you show him what he's missing? That's my verdict.
You know, it ain't no fat bitches. Ain't no fat girls, ain't none of that. And now you can, when you're around me, you can just stop texting in your phone and put your
Can I have
phone
a
down.
kiss?
And put your
Can I have a kiss?
Put your phone down and tend to me and focus on what I'm saying and what I'm doing and everything like that. You feel me? And when you come around, I'll do more about making time or being there when you come.
I just want some sex. I just want some sex.
Made